channel. Today's video is a very special one because I am filming this in honor of my baby shower, which would have been in a couple of days, but that we had to cancel due to the current pandemic, and to make sure that we were keeping all of our loved ones safe and following the current guidelines and restrictions that have been enforced, so that hopefully all of this goes away pretty soon. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we feel very heartbroken of not being able to celebrate the upcoming arrival of our first baby with our family and friends. We even had a couple of family members flying in from Mexico to be here with us that day. So the whole situation is very unfortunate, and of course we know that there are things happening in the world right now that are much more important than this, but we just still wanted to take the time and make this video as a way to kind of virtually celebrate or do some of the things that we would have done at our baby shower. And so I would love to share with you all how we decided it was the right time to have a baby. I'll also be sharing with you some of the gifts that we have received so far and some of the items that we have purchased ourselves just in preparation for baby's arrival. And I'm also going to be announcing the name that we have chosen for our baby boy. So if you are at all interested in finding out about those things or just joining me in honoring this day, then please keep watching, and don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. So if you watched my first video, then you know that I'm 6 months pregnant, and by the time that I upload this video, I will be 31 weeks pregnant, which is so crazy to think about. And you would also know that I have been with my high school sweetheart for almost 9 years. Will be 9 years next month. His name is Jonathan, but he goes by Johnny, so I thought I'd mention that because I'll be saying his name a lot during this video. So obviously Johnny and I talked about the idea of becoming parents for many years, but we both agreed that there were certain milestones that we wanted to accomplish before getting more serious about expanding our family. One of those things was definitely to have a stable job that would allow us to not be overly stressed about finances all the time, and that would give us the flexibility to save up and do some of the things that we've always wanted to do and buy in preparation for a family. And so thankfully that has already happened. Like, we're both pretty comfortable with our jobs, and we think that we're at a good place as far as that. We also wanted to make sure that we were homeowners before expanding our family, and so, you know, just having that level of responsibility together was just a step that we wanted to have and experience together before having a baby. So after buying our house at the end of 2018, that's when we started to talk more about and get more serious about, you know, having a baby and potentially expanding our family. But we also didn't want it to feel rushed, and we wanted to make sure that we felt settled in at our new home and for it to actually feel like home to us. And so thankfully right now we're at a place where, yes, our house actually feels like home, and we think that it is really important to also be mentally prepared to have a baby, because the level of responsibility is unlike no other. Of course, it's not just about bringing a human being into this life, but it's also about forever taking care of them and be there for them, and, you know, having that responsibility for our whole lives. And thankfully we both agreed that we were at a place where we felt prepared for that, and that is the reason why we decided to move on with just taking the necessary steps to plan for our baby. So it wasn't until the end of July in 2019 that we decided, okay, let's take those steps and get off birth control and just see what happens, as far as letting nature do its thing. We didn't want to overly stress about actually like trying to have a baby, because we just didn't want to deal with that level of stress. Especially because my doctor had said that, you know, it could take from a month to a year to more time to conceive, and we just didn't want to have that pressure on us. So we went about our lives, and we decided, okay, well, we'll just see what happens. We didn't expect it to happen so soon, quite honestly, but it did, and we're really grateful. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So anyway, I actually wanted to keep that energy of like not worrying about it, not thinking about it too much, but it was really hard to do. And I actually took a pregnancy test without telling Johnny, I would say like mid-September, and it actually came out negative, which was really disappointing. And I told myself I'm not gonna do this again until, you know, months to come, and just see what happens. So I actually went to Hawaii with my best friend at the end of September, and we had a really good time. I felt normal throughout the trip, and it actually helped that I went on this trip because it kind of relieved my mind from thinking about conceiving, and like it gave me that break that I needed to not think about it. But we came back home, and it wasn't until a couple of days later that I started to feel that level of curiosity again, and decided to take another pregnancy test. Johnny had already left for work by the time that I took this test, and I was getting ready to head out for work myself. And I took the test, and it came out positive, and I couldn't believe it. I was in shock, and I also didn't want to fully believe the fact that it came out positive, because I didn't want to put all of my trust in one test. And oh my god, even just thinking about it, like it brings back so many memories, brings me back to that day. So what I did, instead of getting all hyped up and excited in that moment, I decided to take the very last pregnancy test that I had on hand and take it again and just see what happened. And it came out positive. So it was real. At this moment, I'm overwhelmed with happiness. I'm having all these like amazing emotions, and I'm shocked at the same time. And all I can think about is I need to tell Johnny today. Like I need to find a way, a very special way to let him know. But I cannot wait, you know, a day or two to go by before I let him know. Like I have to let him know today. So after work that day, I went to the mall and got baby like this tiny little shoes, and I had purchased Johnny a pair of new shoes like a couple of days before. And so what I had in mind was to put the little baby shoes inside of his sneakers, and then plan this whole thing out so that he would see the baby shoes inside of his own shoes and stuff like that. So I can probably share that video at a different time, but just know that it came out really amazing. He was so surprised, and we were both kind of like, oh my god, this is happening, you know what I mean? We were really happy that day, and we waited a long time to tell other people. Like we definitely told my parents that weekend, so it must have been like 2 to 3 days later was when we told my parents. And also Johnny's mom, we decided to tell her pretty soon after that. But other than that, we didn't want to announce it to anyone else. Of course, we know that the first 3 months of pregnancy are the riskiest months, where, you know, anything could happen, like a miscarriage could happen, or it's more likely to happen than further into your pregnancy. And so we just really wanted to take that special moment in and not share it necessarily with everyone until we felt ready for that. And so we eventually, after I think it was like 3 or 4 months, we decided to announce it to our friends and family, and everybody was so excited, especially because I think from our generation, we are like the last ones in our family to have a baby. We may be the very last. And so everybody for like many years has been asking us and bugging us and like, when are you gonna have a baby? When are you gonna have a baby? And finally we were like, we're about to have a baby. And they almost couldn't believe it, and they were super happy for us. So it wasn't until we actually told all of our family and friends that we started to plan our baby shower. and we kept a notebook where we kept all of our ideas of how we wanted our setup to look like, what we wanted to give up for food, what we wanted our cake to look like, and the items that we definitely wanted to have on our registry and things like that. Like, we just had this one place where we gather all of our ideas. And unfortunately, when COVID-19 started to get more serious and things were being canceled, like big events and weddings and things like that, we came to the conclusion that we were probably gonna have to cancel our baby shower. At this point, it was just too early to even send out invitations, because we were planning to send out our invites by mid-April so that we could celebrate at the end of April. And so we just came to terms with having to cancel our baby shower. And even though it was a really hard decision, we just kind of put it behind us and came to terms with it. However, some family members and friends actually reached out to us and were like, hey, are you not having a baby shower? Or are you doing anything for baby still? And obviously we were like, no. Because of the current situation, we just don't think that it's the best thing to do. And they were all like, oh my gosh, like, okay, well, how can I help? How can I support you guys in preparation for baby? Do you guys have a registry? And we honestly, at the time that we came to terms with having to cancel our baby shower, we just didn't even, the items that we wanted to have in a registry never really got to a registry because they stayed in our notebook, our planning notebook, and we just didn't even think about having a registry still, even though we canceled our party. But with the encouragement of family and friends that told us, like, I want to have the opportunity to give to baby something still and to help you guys out with however we can, we decided, okay, maybe we will create our registry. We decided to tweak it a little bit and put more of the essential items that we definitely need, and we sent it out to friends and family. Didn't want anyone to feel pressured or like forced to give something just because we were sending this link. And we definitely think that we got that message across, but there have been just so many people who have showed up so much support to us, not only through the registry, but just like through messages and encouragement, and just understanding that, like, it is hard for us to not being able to celebrate with everyone. Like, this is a huge thing in our lives right now, the fact that we're becoming parents for the first time. And you know, I don't really have a lot of family here, and Johnny does have more family than I do, but a lot of our friends really have become our family. And so we've gotten a lot of messages and encouragement from so many people that we just highly appreciate it, and that we are just so thankful for. And so all of this to say, we have also received a lot of gifts for our baby, and I'll go over some of the gifts that we have that have been purchased out from our registry so far. We actually haven't received all of these items, but I just quickly took a look at the items that have been purchased and made a list so that I could share with all of you. Probably going to be butchering a lot of these names, but we had asked for the Papa Blick Baby Bottle Electric Steam Sterilizer and Dryer. We definitely think that that's an essential thing to have for baby, as well as a humidifier, just so that, you know, it helps with the air. We went with the Komotomo baby bottles, and again, I didn't want to put a lot of things in a registry that wouldn't be necessary, and I know that some babies like certain bottles and they don't like certain bottles, so we just got like 2 sets of 2 in a registry, and they've actually both been purchased. And so we'll give these a try, and if baby likes them, then we'll probably go ahead and buy more. We also got a bottle brush. The brand is OXO, and I mean, that's just essential to have regardless. We also asked for the Graco Pack and Play with infant bassinet, and for the Me Classic All Mesh 2-in-1 stationary and rock bassinet. And the reason why we asked for 2 bassinets is because we live in a 2-story house, and so one bassinet I definitely want to have right next to me, like to my bed all the time, so that I have easy access to baby. and one to have downstairs for when we're just downstairs. We also got the bobby pillow and the cover for it. We got short sleeve and long sleeve bodysuits, and they're just the plain white bodysuits from, I think it's Carter's. Butt paste and diaper ointment we definitely had on there, and we have received that. Huggies hypoallergenic baby diapers, we've received some of those as well. The Skip Hop diaper organizer with touch sensor nightlight, we just thought that it would be handy to have, you know, a place where we could organize the diapers upstairs and downstairs. We also asked for the Baby Dove tip to toe baby wash and shampoo, an electric baby nail trimmer. That one was really important for me because being the first baby, I know that I'm gonna be really scared to cut his nails or even like file his nails. And so I'm actually really thankful because my parents live with us, and my mom and my dad can both help me out as a first time mom to just feel more comfortable with these things. But having the right tools and the right things and items, I think, can make my experience a lot easier. So I really appreciate having this electric nail trimmer. We also got pacifiers and the newborn hypoallergenic laundry detergent, and that one we just thought it would be helpful to have to prepare for our baby's arrival because we do have some clothes for him already, and like sheets and things like that that we'll have to wash ahead of time. And then that's as far as things for baby. We also have a 5-minute Pete the Cat Stories book, and that one it's a funny story because one of my dearest friends and her partner, they organized this like dinner for us to celebrate just the fact that I was pregnant, and she invited, it was a very like private not even event, it was a very private dinner that she organized at her house, and she invited some of her closest friends, and she gifted our baby this book. And it's so crazy to even think about that happened like right before all this COVID-19 things started to happen. And that was kind of like my baby shower if you think about it that way. The dinner that she had, and like that was the only really type of celebration that I had for my baby and for us. And so I really appreciate that. And now I'm just like, wow, that was kind of like my baby shower. So there were two things that one thing on my registry that was kind of more for me, and then another thing that was not on my registry but I still received from another friend of mine. So the Haka, I hope I'm saying that right, manual breast pump, and also organic nipple balm, which I'm sure will come very handy since I do plan to breastfeed. So those are all of the items that have been purchased so far from our registry, and some of the things that haven't been purchased but we plan on purchasing regardless are things that were left on there, like clenching pads and other pacifiers and burp cloths and wipes and more diapers, obviously. So other than that, we're really thankful for all of the support from our friends and family. You guys, like, big shout out to you because you guys came through and we didn't even expect to do this. We're just super thankful and grateful for you. Now I'm going to mention some of the items that we have purchased throughout the months since finding out about baby. So the first thing that we've ever purchased was a car seat. So we actually purchased the Nuna Pipa Light car seat, and we actually purchased two because since my parents live with us and they have their own car and we also have our own cars, we just thought it would be easier to have a stationary car seat in my parents' car and also a stationary car seat in our car. We purchased these through OfferUp, so they were semi-used, but we made sure that they were in really good condition, basically like new, and also that like they were secure, they had not been in any accidents, all the things that you should look for when purchasing a car seat. We also got the Dogatot Deluxe Plus, and that one, I think it's going to be really helpful to have just for having baby all around the house depending on what we're doing. We also have the 4Moms Mamaroo baby swing, and we just decided to go with this swing out of all the many that are out there. We also got the Aqua Scale baby bath, and this one we really liked because it actually, I think it tells you the water temperature, but it also it tells you the weight of your baby, and we just think that that's going to be really helpful, especially for the first couple of weeks. With that, we also got a blooming bath cushion. We just thought it might be helpful. We also have the Nose Frida nasal aspirator. If he's congested, then we can just use this to, yeah, help him out, get those boogers out. We also got a wrap baby carrier from Bye Bye Baby. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but I will link that below if I find it, as well as linking everything else below that I've mentioned. We got a bunch of books for him and clothes, which I'll show you some of the clothes items that I'm like most excited about because they're so tiny and cute. And for a stroller, we got the Silver Cross Coast stroller. We went with this one because it turns into a double stroller, and we do plan on having another baby. Hopefully everything goes well with this one, and then if that's the case, then our plan is to have another baby soon after. So for this stroller, we just thought a lot of the features that it had and items that it came with was very helpful, or would be really helpful for our second baby whenever that happens. So those are the items that we've purchased so far and that we've received. I will go ahead and show you guys some of the clothes that we've purchased for him. And well, this isn't clothes necessarily, but we've purchased some bibs for baby. Oh my gosh, he's so tiny. But yeah, these are some of the things that we've purchased. A bunch of bodysuits, cute little bodysuits. This one is like one of my favorites for sure. It's so adorable, and it has these little like ears in the hood part. Oh my god, it's so cute. And it's gonna be so hard to decide like what outfit to use for when he comes out of the hospital, but I think you can't go wrong with any of these. They're so adorable. A little frog. And then we got some of these as well, that because he's gonna be born in like hot weather, so he's gonna be born by the end of June. Could be mid-June, could be end of June, could even be the beginning of July. We don't know exactly, but it's gonna be hot regardless, and so we wanted to make sure we had some like short sleeve things as well as some of the long sleeves just in case. But yeah, look at this one. I can't. It's just looking at it, like, it makes me feel like it's so close to coming, and that I'm gonna have my baby in my arms pretty soon. Like right now I'm holding it close just by itself, but soon he's gonna be in this clothes. Like it's, yeah, anyway. I don't want to cry. But yeah, so again, some of the items that we've gotten for baby. Alright, so before I reveal the name that we have chosen for our baby, I wanted to share with you how we came to choose this name. And it was about 5 years ago, I think, that I heard this name and I really fell in love with it, and I just kept it in mind for in case we ever have a baby boy, this is the name that we should use. And when I told Johnny, he actually really liked the name too, which I was really happy about, especially because we had thought about girl names way more than boy names. Like I think I always thought that I would have a girl first, and it wasn't until we found out that we were having a boy that we were like, oh, we should probably start thinking, you know, if we wanted to change her name or not, because we only had that one name for a boy. And thankfully, again, like even after researching for new names, there wasn't a name that we liked more than this particular one. So that was part of the reason why we chose it. And also we just wanted to make sure that it was a name that could easily be pronounced in Spanish and English, especially because both of our parents speak Spanish and little English, and so we just wanted to make sure that our family members could also properly pronounce baby's name, and that you know, the name could also be easily pronounced in English. And so without further ado, I'm going to tell you that the name that we have chosen for our baby is Sebastian, or in Spanish, Sebastian. So we went with that name again because we love it, and yeah, we just really like the meaning of Sebastian and can't wait to name our baby that officially. Once we see him, I think it's gonna click very well, and yeah. So alright you guys, well, this is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel to keep up with more of these stories and videos that I keep posting every week. This video was actually filmed on my iPhone because I was having difficulties with my camera, but I wanted to make sure that I shared it out just in time for my baby shower. So again, thank you so much for joining me today, and until next time, I will see you later.